Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be a hope for a better future. Well, I've got an email here from a guy who unfortunately found out that his wife is cheating on him with a younger guy who actually happens to live with his parents as well. And so he's obviously wrestling with a lot of things, coming to terms with the fact that his wife is a liar and a cheater. He's also thinking to himself that he wants to get his family back because as it stands right now, it doesn't seem like she's interested in ending her affair with this younger guy. And she also mentions she doesn't really understand why she's so into this other particular dude when this guy's confronted her about it. So I've got a quote that I wrote in this topic, and I'm going to go through his email and analyze the situation. And the quote says, "People who are good relationship partners place a high value on loyalty, commitment, communication, and resolving disagreements the moment that they arise. Studies have consistently shown that couples that stay in and have healthy long-term relationships do so because they never let disagreements or problems lie and fester. They don't go to sleep until they talk and work things out. It is delusional and unwise to think that you can have an easy, effortless, successful, and healthy long-term relationship with someone who consistently lies, cheats, deceives, creates drama, is inflexible, won't talk things out, or who immediately starts looking for the exit when problems or challenges arise." This is very, very important. You got to make sure that the person that you're with shares the same goals and the same values as you. Falling in love with the potential that somebody else has is never a good way to go. You'll always be disappointed because the other person is just simply, their reality and the high expectations, usually the unreasonable expectations you have of them, are never going to match. So you're always going to be disappointed. So he says, "Hey Corey, thanks for all your help. It has made me really see a lot of my problems and has given me hope for a better future. I found out 10 days before Christmas that my wife of almost a decade with 2 sons is having an affair with a younger man. This was before I found your material, and to quote David Bowie, I've been putting out fire with gasoline." Yeah, that sounds like a bad way to go. Our relationship wasn't the greatest. It started on a base of lies due to a previous relationship and grew into what it is today. So if it started out on a base of lies, I'm starting to wonder if your relationship actually came as a result of cheating. And I did an article and a video a month or so ago about, I think the title, if I remember right, was Relationships Based Upon Cheating. And statistically, people that come from those kinds of relationships, especially if you date and get into a relationship with somebody who's cheating on somebody else at that time, those people just don't view commitments and relationships and monogamy in the same way. They don't have the same type of value system. And therefore, if somebody perceives that it's okay to cheat and to lie and deceive because their needs aren't being met, that's how they operate. And you can't expect somebody like that to work things out when they experience challenges. Those are the kind of people that are looking for the exits when challenges or problems arise. So in other words, if you get involved with somebody as a result of cheating, 99% of the time it's just simply not going to work out. They're going to do to you what they did to the other person when they're no longer happy. He says, "When I found out about the affair, I had the typical roller coaster ride. I still am on that ride, but it's getting better. I pushed and tried to get her back to the point where she would scream at the top of her lungs and threaten me with things I didn't even think she could imagine. She wants to stay with this kid who still lives at home because of the problems that we had recently and all the way from the beginning. Dude, this is just the way your girl is. And it sounds like you've been ignoring reality and now the bill has come due, so to speak. Just like Ayn Rand said, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And unfortunately, if you place a high value on monogamy and commitment and being loyal, it's obvious she doesn't. And on top of that, she doesn't care. She wants to stay with this other guy. He says, when I ask what makes him so special, she says she doesn't know. Dude, have some self-respect and get the fuck out of there. He says, when I confronted him to ask the same question, he gave a very similar response and even opened up to me admitting he was thinking of leaving the situation. Dude, you make yourself look like a chump when you continue to stick around and put up with this shit. However, I think my confrontation made their relationship stronger. But think about it. A man who loves himself and values himself and has self-respect is going to be like, well, I'm fucking out here. Good luck. Hope it works out for you jackasses, but I'm getting a divorce and I want to move on with my life. I want to find somebody who's going to treat me the way I want to be treated. He says, I'm having a hard time finding my center and really finding what I want. I want my family back to improve upon the mistakes that I made, but I'm also faced with a golden opportunity to really grow and get back some things that I missed out on because of an early marriage. What's your take? Should I pursue or move on? Well, pursuing is going to get you nowhere because she's already fucking somebody else. And the fact that you're sticking around, you make yourself look like a sucker and a chump when you stick around and put up with this. Remember, no one will ever do or say anything to you that you don't invite them to do. And the fact that you're sitting around interacting with her and interacting with him basically is the backup plan instead of putting your foot down and saying, hey, you made your choice. You know, maybe you can go move in with his parents as well and you guys can live happily ever after. But I'm done with this shit. I personally wouldn't put up with it. And the fact that you allow her to continue to treat you this way, it's just inviting her to continue doing it. You got to have some self-respect and say, I'm fucking out of here. I'm going to go find somebody who places a high value on loyalty and relationships and commitment. Because she doesn't. It doesn't mean anything to her. And if you, just like you said, this 10-year relationship you have with her was built on a pack of lies, well, it ain't going to work, dude. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. You can't make good wine from bad grapes. He says, I've done a lot of fucked up childish things throughout this ordeal, but it goes, he says, am I too late? I'd say, she's with somebody else who put a fork in it. And it doesn't sound like she has any interest in leaving him and working on your relationship. So this only self-loving, self-respecting thing you can do is to leave this relationship and go find somebody that will actually meet your needs. And I personally wouldn't give her a chance to make it up to you because this is the way she is. She was like this 10 years ago and she's like this now. It's not going to change. So like I said, in this particular case, dude, you made a bad choice. You know, you're trying to make, you can't polish a turd, so to speak. And you know, your wife is the proverbial turd in the punch bowl. Your marriage doesn't mean shit to her. The fact that you have 2 kids together doesn't mean shit to her. The only thing she cares about is getting her needs met, and she doesn't care who she hurts in the process. She carried this shit on behind your back. I mean, 10 days before Christmas you find this out? That fucking sucks ass, dude. That's a deal breaker. That's a deal killer. It's like, no fucking way. Wish her all the best, move on with your life, and go find somebody who shares the same goals and values because she ain't it, dude. I know it's not what you want to hear, but that's the reality of the situation. When you look at her actions and the fact that she's like, I don't know why I'm so attracted to this other guy, but I'm going to stay with him, and it's great. Good for her, good for him. Now, she is his problem, not yours. And the fact that she's involved with somebody else, this can actually be very helpful for you to move on because she's simply no longer available. She's already left the relationship, and you're just kind of sitting there holding the bag, so to speak. So, like I said, it's time to move on, dude. You deserve way fucking better than this. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.